Okay. So like I said, we're focusing on this section of the business activity tracker. If you don't have this, ask me how to get it. For anyone else who is listening to the recording. But for the first thing I want you guys to do, I'm going to set an 8-minute timer, and we're just going to take 8 minutes, and I want you guys to find like a place on Instagram, probably Instagram, where you can find followers and find people that you can follow and engage with their page. What this does is you're expanding and connecting with your network. So the way that I would suggest doing this is think of like a place that maybe you like to shop. This could be as simple as like Target Baby, or it could be like a clothing shop. I want you to kind of think about the things that make you unique as a person and that you enjoy, or like maybe a hobby, like types of clothes. If you got your sweater like somewhere specific, Lizzie, and it was somewhere that you can find on Instagram, then you could find people on that Instagram page. So basically what you're doing when you're expanding and connecting is you're wanting to look for people who are your kind of person. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if you follow lots of Beachbody coaches, you want to branch away from following lots of Beachbody coaches and start finding people that you want to follow who you actually want to be friends with in real life. Like not just Beachbody coaches, because they're not going to help you grow your business. You also don't want to go to a Beachbody coach's page and follow their following, because they're probably like already following a lot of other coaches, or they're their people. Like, I'm not saying you can't go find some of the same people, because you will, but for the most part, picking somewhere more specific is going to help a lot. So trying to think of other ways you can find places to find followers is you can search hashtags. You can search like mom of 2 or mom of 3, and then you can follow the hashtag and start finding people within that realm, whether it's a hashtag or somebody else's group of followers. And you just want to look for the people that look like someone that you would want to follow. That's it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So I have a place where I'm going to find people from, but I want to know where you guys are going to find people from. So do you have like 5 to 8 minutes? You can do that on your phone right now, Lizzie?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So think of like something about yourself that you feel like makes you unique, or a place that you already like to follow, a brand, any of those kinds of things. And when you have it, just tell me what that is, so that I know that you've actually got one and you're not just sitting here going, I don't know what to do and I don't want to say anything, because I've done that.
I'm just looking under the hashtag, I guess, mom life.
Okay,
that's me
maybe
right now.
Maybe get a little bit more specific with that, Savannah. Say like Arizona mom life or AZ mom. I
have a lot of hairdresser friends though, so I could do AZ hair.
Yeah, you could totally do that, because that would be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when you've got your hashtag or your place that you're looking for, then let me know, and I'm going to start a timer. Because basically, you're just going to go on a mass follow for the next 5 minutes. And you're just going to follow everyone that is following them. I mean, if you see someone who stands out as a real creeper, don't follow them. But for the most part, you're just going to be clicking your thumb all the way down their list.
Lovely.
Ooh, blah. Okay, hang on just a second.
Okay, let me know when you guys are ready and I'll start the timer.
Okay, ready.
Okay, here we go. We're doing 5 minutes. I would recommend doing this at least for 10 minutes a day, but we're just going to do 5 to practice. Okay, the timer's going.
Okay, so we are requesting to follow these people?
Yeah, you can request. If they're a public account, it'll just say that you're following them. For now, just go through and request or follow, depending on what their account says. I don't want you responding to stories or really even looking at their account very much right now. Just follow, 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 follow. And as far as private accounts go, just something to keep in mind, this isn't any different than sending a friend request on Facebook. They can accept it or reject it. And if they do accept it, they'll usually follow you back, and then you'll see them pop up.
Do you think it would be a better idea to, not better idea, but like a good idea to make a fitness Instagram?
No. If you want to change your, well, hold on. I'll answer that question in 3 minutes.
Okay.
I am a squirrel. Sometimes I get distracted.
That's fine. He's so needy.
Yeah. Huh?
Okay. Sorry, can you guys hear that obnoxious thing?
Mhm.
It's so great. Okay, so this is kind of like intentionally, if you're, I'm just going to give you some ideas. If you are sitting in the bathroom because you're stuck in the bathroom for a really long time and you happen to have your phone, instead of just mindlessly scrolling Instagram like most of us do, because we know we do it, go to one of these places. So if you found one that you felt like it was pretty easy to find some people you thought, you might want to follow or you might want to be friends with, then I would save, like put a note in your phone, if you have some way of keeping track of stuff in your phone. So like on my phone, I have a note where I just say, okay, account to find followers on, and I say I'm going to spend roughly 10 to 15 minutes a day, and I'm going to go and just find people. That's my goal. So I have like a list of names, and I add to it if I find another account that I feel like I really like. So some of these are people that I'm really good friends with who they just have a massive following with massive interaction. So people that have lots of comments on their posts. It could be a fitness account. It could be like a mom fitness account that's like BBG or, you know, other places like that. But it could also be completely unrelated to fitness, because your whole life isn't just fitness. Like right now I follow lots of people, or I find people to follow from like mom kind of blog type people. People who post a lot about pregnancy updates, or like pregnancy shops where they like places that I shop for pregnancy or baby related stuff. Any of those kinds of places. That's basically how you find your brand, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So your brand isn't Beachbody. It's not just fitness. It's not just workouts. It's what makes you a person. So you want to be finding people to follow who are people like you would want to interact with. Okay. So next thing I'm going to show you guys how to do is we're going to actually message some of these people that you just followed. Okay. And I know that sounds super scary, but I promise it's not scary. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take like maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It's probably not even going to be that long. We're going to take 5 minutes, and we're just going to go and look through that list of people that you just followed, and I'll show you how to find that list. And you're going to message them right now for like 5 minutes, but we're going to try and aim for one person a minute, if that makes sense. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to their page, and you're going to scroll down their photos, and you're going to like 5 of them. You're going to comment with some kind of a compliment or a question on 3 of them. And then you're going to send this person a message. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is what you do to find those lists of people. You're going to go to your phone, and you're going to go to your Instagram, like go to your main Instagram page, like so. Okay. Up here at the top where it shows the people you are following, it has a number. That number should have gone up. Let's just say it goes up by maybe 5 or 10 people, depending on how many people were public accounts you were able to follow. When you guys look at yours, does it show you this little up and down arrow in the corner?
Yep.
Okay. Click on that up and down arrow right here. And when you click on the up and down arrow in the corner, there's going to be one that says date followed latest. And you want to find the most recently like followed people. This is going to show you after it reloads. It's going to show you all the people that you just sent a follow request to. And what I would suggest doing is going through these accounts. And you know what? Here's how we're going to break it up. We're going to spend 5 minutes. We're just going to look through the accounts, and you're going to actually look at the person's account. So you're going to be looking at, say, like this girl that I followed, her name is Amber. And it says she's a mom of 3. She lives in Texas. So I know right away she's someone who I would probably get along with. She has 3 kids, which is where I'm going to be in life. She also is in the United States, which means as far as anything Beachbody goes, if she's ever interested, I know that I can actually offer this to her. So I'm going to go to her page, and I'm going to spend a few, like really just a minute. And I'm going to spend a minute on her page. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to screenshot her. I'm also going to screenshot her profile. Okay. Does that make sense? So I'm going to screenshot the profile because I'm going to come back to her and message her. Does that like make sense? Like you can, and this is just a way to do it. If you want to like effectively just focus on the task of liking and commenting on people's profiles, then I would just do liking and commenting for 5 or 10 minutes, and then go back to the people you screenshotted, and you're going to message those people after you're done. And then it'll just be a quick copy and paste message to say hi. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go, and let's just 5-3. That's where you like 5 photos and you comment on 3 of them. And I want you guys to just try and get through five of these accounts. So you're really looking at their account for just a couple seconds and just getting a feel for like, okay, do I actually want to talk to this person in real life? All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, timer is going. So just liking and commenting for 5 minutes.
Was it fun? Yeah. Who's that?
Woohoo.
Okay. So that is what you do to like start to engage people on your page. So what that does though is when you like 5 and comment on 3 photos, it puts a bunch of notifications in somebody else's notifications that says, oh, this person just saw a bunch of my stuff. And they, if you're giving genuine comments, likely will come back to your page at some point and like or comment on 1 or 2 of your photos. They may not, but usually like that's kind of how it works on Instagram, is that you can like gain a follower by doing that. This
And it
likely
wakes up your
depends-
Instagram.
Yes, it wakes up your Instagram, but this also depends on what you're posting. So if you're not in a place where you've been posting consistently, then that alone, like just starting to get more consistent posting once a day, being present in your stories, sharing about your lifestyle, your up, your ins and outs of your day, like what you do for work, maybe, like all of the different things that make you you, then that's what is going to make it so that people want to come to your page instead of just like glance at your page and go, I don't know if I want to follow this person. That's weird. But when you show them you're a real person, both by interacting with them and them being able to come to your page, they're more likely to decide that they want to follow you back, and then therefore the relationship is started. Okay, so did you guys screenshot a few people?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you in the messenger thread really fast. I'm going to send you what I have been sending recently for a new follower message. Okay, this is something that I am sending to someone that I am following, but I could also send it to someone who starts to follow me for the first time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay, so this is someone you just followed. Okay, so it says, hey, Kensington, hope it's okay to say hi here. I'm Danae. I put a pronunciation guide. I'm totally that girl would make friends with a random gal at Target because I just love to talk. I stumbled over your page recently and I just wanted to say hi. And then I put some kind of a compliment on their page, or they're like, maybe if they have kids, I might relate in ages to the kids. Something they posted about recently, and then I just give a brief introduction. I just say I'm a stay-at-home mom of 2, preggo with mom, or mega preggo with number 3, due in October, working on my health, and I'm just here to inspire other girls and make friends. I'm from Arizona. What about you? I would love to get to know you more. So it's just kind of something that gives them an idea of like, okay, I've been interacting with their page, now I'm in their inbox, and I'm hoping to get a conversation going on some level. Okay. So for the sake of time, I'm actually going to send you guys this, but I want to spend the last like 7 minutes that we have on the Zoom before it cuts us out. I want to spend that actually inviting. I know,
Okay.
super scary sounding. So I want you guys to just promise me you'll go back and spend, like, whoever you took a screenshot of, send a message to them today. Like, you've already interacted on their page, so now just go message them and start like chatting.
She did what?
Okay, so we're gonna switch gears really fast. I want you guys to go to any of your posts or pages, like your page. So Lizzie, for you, what I want you to think about, because I know you haven't really actively posted a whole lot about like your fitness journey or things like that, and that's okay.
Yep.
But what I want you to think about for like the next 5 to 8 minutes, and then I'll send you like a script that you can use as well for inviting, is I want you to think about 20 people in your life, whether they're coworkers, people that are following you already on Instagram, people that you're friends with, or people you haven't talked to in a long time. I want you to just think of 20 people, and I want you to make a list of their names, and you're going to go and start up a conversation with those people. Does that make sense?
All right.
So basically, let's just say you have a friend named Susie, and you haven't talked to Susie in, I don't know, a few months, or maybe it's been a year or 2, but she comes to mind and you feel like you have a solid foundation with her from before. And I just want you to reach out and just be like, how is life going? Things like that. If it's somebody that you haven't talked to like in a significant amount of time.
Okay.
If it's someone the next grouping of people that I want you guys to think about is someone who maybe you're a coworker with, maybe who you interact with a little bit more regularly. And these are the people that I feel like it would be totally appropriate to say, like, just like friends. Maybe they're not like solid, I spend every minute of my day with these friends, but just friends. Okay. Somebody that you know loves you, and that even if they say no, they're still going to love you as a person. Because this is kind of where you have to start. Basically the point of this is we want, oh, it's going to cut us off. Why? How has it already been 10 minutes? This is stupid. Okay. Basically we want to invite people who, like, you feel like would understand, hey, this is something that's important to her, and I'm like, she's telling me about it, basically. Does that make sense? Okay, hold on. I'm going to actually start a new Zoom because this is dumb. Hold on. I'll splice them together later. Okay, so starting the recording again. I'll have to splice these together because that will just have to be how it goes. iMovie. Okay. We were talking about inviting and then it cut me off. So Savannah's hopping back on. Katie and Tracy or whoever are able to get back on might get on. But we're talking about inviting. So for the sake of the thinger, I wanted to talk about places to invite from. So I was talking about Lizzie, like, or like someone who hasn't ever invited before. Okay, sorry, I was just making my recording make sense.
Sounds good.
I'm talking to myself, but now you're here so I can talk to you. Okay, so we were talking, like, I was talking with Lizzie a little bit about how, okay, you've never invited really before. You haven't really got a posting like regimen down. So really what we're doing is we're making a connection list, and we're starting to build those connections. And we're thinking of people in like everyday life that you could say, hey, I really, basically, this is how I would phrase it, especially like for you right now, Savannah. Just basically say, hey, like, so I've been feeling really crappy. You can give an explanation or not, depending on, you know, what you want to share. But just like, hey, like, I've been feeling really crappy, and I feel like I need some friends to help keep me accountable to the goals that I have. Maybe that goal for you right now is just to work out 3 times a week and have your Shakeology on the days that it sounds good. Like, peace. I can do that. But I want you to think about people who maybe you like have either expressed some kind of an interest in either weight loss, or just that they're like, okay, how am I going to stay on track? I'm so busy. Anything like that, like in conversations you've had with hairdressers, or maybe they're just super busy and they're in school and they're like, I don't know how to make time for myself. Basically that right there is a place where you can say, well, I'm not perfect at this, but this is what's helping me. Do you want me to tell you a little bit more about it? Because I would love to share this with you too. And then we can hold each other accountable together, and it'll be great. So like, just kind of thinking about those people. So for you, it's going to be making that kind of a list. But you've also, I'm just going to your page really fast. Savannah. You have also posted a few times in the past about things like Beachbody On Demand, and talking about just a little bit about like your journey. Okay. So obviously, like, this hasn't been something that you've consistently done every single day, but you have a reason. And your reason is not a reason to stop posting. Like, you just have to figure out how to post about life without talking about pregnancy, if you're not ready to talk about that yet. Like, I was one of those people that I was like, boom, there's a line, I'm going to tell people. But that's because it's a huge part of my life to like share what's going on. So that's what I do. You don't have to do that, but there are ways to kind of talk about life and to just focus on your journey of like your mental journey, or your really it's all about just kind of thinking outside the box. So because if you put yourself in this box of I'm pregnant, I can't work out, I can't eat well, or you know, these kinds of things, then your brain doesn't know how to operate outside that box. Right. And your brain just basically says, well, I may as well just do nothing because I don't know what to do. So we need to look for possibilities. So I want you to like be making a list of people you could talk to. But as far as posting, think about the reasons that you started Beachbody to begin with.
Yeah.
Because these reasons are still valid and you can still talk about them even if you're not able to act on them in the same ways right now. Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
Okay. So what I would suggest you do though is go back to your post that you shared. Where is it? It was August 5th and it was a Shakeology post.
Yep.
And you talked about loving cardio and just being, staying accountable, waking up early, all those things. So I would go through and I would look through that list of people, and you're going to find, of those 26 people who liked it, you're going to find at least 10 of them, because I would bet there's at least 10 of them who aren't related to Beachbody and who you could message. And basically you're going to just talk to them like I suggested, like say, hey, so I've been having a hard time keeping myself on track, and I really appreciated you cheering me back. I really appreciated you cheering me on back in August when I posted about my fitness journey. And basically we just want to like give you some kind of a window to say something along the lines of, okay, there's 90 days left in the year. I want to stay accountable to it, and I want some buddies to do this with me. Is that something you want to chat about? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to send you an example, and this is what I've been sending to people. Okay. Hold on. And then basically I just want you to take like 3 to 5 minutes. And you're going to take this. Let's see. I'm going to actually just change it right here with you, because then this will be more applicable.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to say, hey, so-and-so, how are you? It's been ages. Seriously, this last couple months have flown. Wanted to check in with you and let you know I'm doing a last 90 days boot camp to focus on my fitness and nutrition goals the last 90 days of 2019. And I wanted to, let's see, and I am looking for some buddies to stay accountable with. Is this something you'd be up for doing with me? Does that make sense? Does that sound like something you would say? Or roughly?
I'll probably change a couple of the words, but
okay. Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm going to send that, and I would just basically take this as your invite, and you're going to just change it to however it makes sense for you. And then you're going to go through and you're going to find 10 people on that list of people who were in that post who, and you're basically, you can say something like, so I know it's been a while and I haven't been, you can say whatever you want. You can say something about, like, I haven't been super good about being accountable to this and I really want to be. You can just leave it at, I just need some buddies to be accountable with. I would say something about like, just reference like, hey, thanks for cheering me on. Or like, I appreciated you cheering me on back in August when I started this journey. I wanted to check in with you and let you know I'm doing this last 90 days boot camp, focusing on my goals, looking for buddies to stay accountable. Do you want to do this with me? Okay. Worst case scenario, nobody answers or they say no. Either way, nobody dies. It's great.
Nobody dies.
I know. I'm so like, guys, I'm so blunt about this, because inviting is literally just as simple as like, oh my gosh, like you saw my post. That means you're at least a little bit interested in something. So I'm going to tell you about this just in case you didn't read all of it.
Right.
Anyway. Okay. So I'm going to go to the restroom really fast. and you tweak your invite, and then we'll just spend like 10 minutes inviting, and then I think we'll call it good.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm back.
Perfect. Lovely.
Okay. Did you make your invite?
Yes. And
Okay.
I sent it to Tawny, who she commented. And then my cousin Taylor, who has expressed interest before, and that's as far as I get so far.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. So what I would suggest doing now that you've gone through the people who commented is go through the people who liked it.
Yeah, that's what I'm right now.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to set the timer for like the next 10 minutes because I need some solid inviting in for today.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but let me just like briefly kind of explain. This is where I find people. Let me explain. Are you a Princess Bride nerd like I am? I'm such a Princess Bride nerd.
I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a long time,
I
though.
think we've probably watched it like twice or 3 times a year for like the last 8 years of our marriage. So like my husband and I quote it all the time. But the Spaniard, he says lots of times or a couple times, he goes, let me explain. And then he goes, actually, no, to explain takes too long. Let me sum up. But anyway, not related. Squirrel.
Right.
Okay, so finding people to invite. This is how I find people to invite. This could be people that you make that connection list from, which is like I talked about before. So this is, just people, everyday people, friends, family, whoever you can think of that you're just like, hey, would this bless their life? Yes, then go talk to them. And just at least put it, in their brain and let them know like, hey, I'm doing this. I'd love to do it with you and I can like support you. And, you can be a part of this too. It doesn't have to be icky, kind of like what they talked about, when you went to Super Saturday, how it's not icky. Like you're sharing something that really can genuinely benefit their life. And if you believe that, then they're going to sense that and they're just going to say no thanks if they don't want to be a part of it. And they'll say sure if they actually want to learn about it. And regardless, they're going to keep watching. So that's where the other side of inviting comes in. Half of my inviting happens from my posts.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm posting, I post every single day and I have something that I'm posting about. So sometimes I'm sharing something personal development related. Sometimes I'm sharing something that's just kind of funny. Sometimes it's a transformation. I basically have found the things that my following is paying attention to and gets value out of, and I share those kinds of things. So for me, a lot of like my mission or my personal like reason for wanting to do Beachbody was because I needed help staying accountable to just take care of myself for my own mental health.
Right.
So, you know, the things that I talk about things like my mental health or my journey as a mom. Today, I talked a little bit about weight gain and attitude about weight gain. But I also related it to the virtual gym. Like, and I said, like, you know, my 36-week checkup today, I was dilated to 1.5. This is a post though, that because it talks about a few times, it talks like 3 or 4 different times randomly throughout the post, in a cohesive way that makes sense. But I just weave it in there. So if you read that post later, like I just talk about my checkup and I say what I was, you know, going through last night. And then I just say like, I decided to recommit again to not caring what the scale says from now to the end of this pregnancy. And then I just said in my virtual gym, my gals and I have been chatting about how little the scale actually matters in the grand scheme of things. Whether you're trying to lose weight or not, how you feel, how your clothes fit, measurements, these are so much more important than the number you see. So I'm adding value. I'm kind of giving somebody a pep talk. And
Mm-hmm.
out, you know, like don't let the number on the scale be defining you as a person, because it doesn't have to define you. And then I talked a little bit I shared some information. Okay. So for me, this was giving an average of, you know, where does the weight gain in pregnancy even come from? Because I feel like it helps me to understand, like, this isn't just a random number that my body is saying, hey, I need to gain weight. Like, it's actually going someplace for a purpose. So I gave the average, you know, weight gain for pregnancy based on American Pregnancy Association.
Yeah.
Then I just said, okay, so my goals right now look different. My gals in my virtual gym are all working on keeping these healthy habits that last us through the holidays and the new year. Our last 90 days kicks off tomorrow. So if you'd like this kind of community, make sure to check in with me with a heart below or DM me so I can help you get started. That's called a call to action or a CTA. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this post is an invite. So anyone who's interacting with it, I basically say, at least in my head, I say, they're interacting with this for some reason. So it might be because they identified with something in the post. It might be because they just wanted to say like, oh, look, your cute belly. And it might be because they actually are interested, but I won't know until I reach out to them and I say, hey, so I noticed you saw this post about my last 90 days. I've got 3 spots left. Do you want to like be a part of this too? Because I'd love to support you. That's it. Like, it's just as simple as that. That's an invite from someone who's followed a post or who's commented on something like that. And the same thing with my stories. I do kind of a similar thing in my stories where I'll share about something in my stories. So today in my stories, I put some shout outs and I shared some screen scrolly things, videos, where it shows, you know, this is what it looks like for our weekly wins on, this is what it looks like in our challenge group. I'm basically showing them if they join this virtual gym, this is part of what they get.
Right.
And you can share that, you know, you're part of the gym too. It's not like, I don't just have ownership of this. This is a community thing. I want if you want to share about that and say like, oh my gosh, I need to get back to accountability. This is where I'm going for it. Then do the little video of your phone where it takes a video of your screen. Do you know how to do that?
Yeah.
So
Finally.
you just take like a quick 20 to 30 second clip and you just scroll through the check-ins and just be like, this is how we check in. And you basically just show them, this is what I do to stay accountable. And then you can ask a question like, do you want some accountability? Do you need some accountability? Because if you do, let me know. And then they can answer the poll. But then anyone who answers the poll and anybody who watches the story is somebody that I would then make an effort to invite.
Right.
Okay. Does that make sense as far as like places to look for and like be able to go and invite? Okay. All right. So I'm challenging you today, besides what you've already done, to take a picture with your Shakeology, but I want you to hide the Shakeology. Does that make sense? Hide the Shakeology words. So like, instead of making it so you see the words, your picture should just see the shaker bottle. They're probably going to know it's Shakeology if they're familiar with Beachbody, but anybody who's not, they're going to be like, what's this chocolate magic she's drinking? And just talk about it.
Good stuff.
Talk about how it was the only thing that sounded good today, or how it's helping you with your energy, or whatever it is that you feel like it's helping you with today. Talk about it in your stories and post about it on your page. And you could even talk about No Makeup Monday, or, you know, whatever you want to do. Just be like, hey, it's No Makeup Monday over here. What about you?
Every day.
It's no makeup every day for me. So does that make sense? Like, as far as what you post about for today? And, and if you want to, you can post about the Shakeology. You can talk about it being No Makeup Monday for you, or no makeup every day right now, whatever you want to say. Just be real with people. And then you can also weave in, and I just spent 40 minutes working on my online business, or, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. You're basically just breadcrumbing these little parts of your life and showing like, hey, this was kind of fun today, or, you know, whatever it is, it was for you. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Are you already done inviting on your post?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're good at multitasking, so congratulations. You win the award. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but was this helpful?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as things go.
Yes.
Okay. So here's the consistency challenge. We did a meeting, and like, we found people, you messaged people, or you're going to go message new people.
Yeah.
To invite from, and you invited. That's 4 things. It took longer, honestly, because I chat a lot and I was trying to explain things. So I want you to just like commit to 5 minutes of each of these different things, 10 minutes of each of these different things, just little power pockets where if you are stuck in the bathroom, or stuck in the drive-thru, or like stuck in the drive-thru, or instead of just watching Netflix, first go and spend 10 minutes inviting, or 5 minutes messaging new people. Basically, that's how you create the consistency in your business, and how you start to knock this baby out every day instead of just once when I do it with you.
Yeah.
So here's my thinking is we'll try and do this at least once a week.
Okay.
And I will just make it available. And if you can get on, great. If you can't, that's okay too. Like, I'm not going to be critical of anybody who can or can't get on. But I just
Mondays are my good days. So
and I'm feeling like Monday seemed like a decent day for me too. Cause
it's the only day that I'm not at school and that the kids are at daycare, that I get to be by myself.
Okay. So you can print this or use the app, and you can show that you already invited. I'm guessing you invited at least 5 people, right?
Yeah.
So you can check that box, and you initiated connections, and you added followers, check. And then you can go through the stories and the post. You're going to do a post, and that will be something you can do sometime, you know, between now and bedtime. So like you're going to start to just see like your business activity tracker. It's already going to start to fill up just from spending 40 focused minutes on doing stuff.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to like draw your attention to that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me that I can answer right now? I know what did you ask earlier? You talked about, should I change my Instagram over to a fitness?
Oh, yeah.
So what do you mean by that? What does that look like in your head?
Well, I guess so I have a business Instagram for my, my hair page. And then I have my personal one. And like, it's not hard to add another like Instagram. Like, it's all right there. It's kind of like a drop down for me. So I'm wondering if I should make like a fitness one, so it's not weird for people to randomly be seeing like spurts of fitness. I don't know.
Okay, so here's my question. I don't post about fitness all the time. And like all the time, like every single, like if you scroll through my actual Instagram feed where people go, you know, for normalness, like, would you necessarily say this looks like a specific fitness Instagram?
No.
Like, blink it in your face, fitness only. Okay.
No.
So that's the thing, is that you want people to see a person. You don't want them just to see the fitness side of things. And basic coaching is essentially weaving your fitness and your, like, how it's basically showing how does this already fit into my busy normal life.
Okay.
So what I would suggest doing is you can like kind of think about those reasons that you joined Beachbody, and those are going to be the things that you post about. Like when you post about anything fitness or Beachbody related, you'll post about that kind of stuff, like the why you're doing that and why it's helping you. But then every three, for every 3 posts you might share on Instagram, 2 of them are going to be completely unrelated to Beachbody. They're going to be about, maybe eventually they'll be about your pregnancy, or they'll be about, mom life. They might be about going to hair school. Just those kinds of things. So you're basically, you're weaving little bits and pieces of like, I do Beachbody into your main posts. And then on the days that you do work out, if you set the goal of 3 workouts a week or whatever, then you're going to share your workout in your stories on those days.
Okay. And then for like holidays coming up, like, so I'm going to go on a vacation for like 6 days. Like, how do you work out, I guess, like in holiday mode or vacation mode?
So what I would suggest doing is having a plan of something you can do with minimal equipment or no equipment. So you're going to look at the programs that are like T25. What's another good one? Really, any of Shaun T's programs are pretty much no equipment.
Yeah.
You can do some of the Lift 4 workouts have no equipment, like the HIIT days, you can do those. But I would just basically have a plan for what are you going to do on those 6 days. And give yourself grace. You're on vacation. But I know I personally feel better, and I've talked about this before. When I go visit family in Utah or things like that, I still work out at least 2 or 3 of the days, or maybe 60% of the time that I'm there, and I'll just get up and do a workout in the morning before the day starts. I might do it in my uncle's basement. I might do it in my uncle's backyard, or my my grandma's backyard. But I show like I can do this anywhere, because you can stream Beachbody on demand from your phone. Like you can do your workouts wherever, it doesn't matter. You just have to go into it with the mindset of, this is something that's actually still helping me feel good, and I'm still committed to it, even if I'm traveling in with family. Your family might think you're crazy, but who cares? They're not the
Sorry,
one.
my brother keeps calling me, and I don't know why he keeps calling me. It's just
No, it's okay. They're not the one who gets to decide what's important to me. And so anyway, that's because I've had like people talk to me and be like, why are you working out? You're on vacation. I'm like, because I don't want to feel like crap when I'm on vacation.
I know.
I feel way better when I exercise for 20 minutes. That's just like what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm a happier mom, which when I'm taking my kids places, that's kind of an important thing.
Right. I know we're going to go to Disneyland, so it's going to be hell.
Disneyland is going to be super fun, but also super tiring. So
stressful.
Maybe you focus on a stretching workout and you do the 10-minute AM yoga retreat.
That's a good idea.
Of yoga, and you're going to be getting a workout of steps at Disney.
Sure will.
So be realistic. But you can talk about those kinds of things, and you can talk about doing 10 minutes of yoga and then spending the rest of your workout time in Disneyland walking mode. Those are just kind of like things to be, on your radar. You can share about those in a non-icky way, like, oh, hey, we're at Disneyland right now, but like super glad that I committed to 10 minutes of this, and I could do it from my phone. Like, but then you just talk about Disneyland, and you don't talk about everything else. Like, you just keep talking about Disneyland, and you just weave it in.
Right.
But yeah, I would just keep your main Instagram and just start weaving in those posts about like self-care and like taking good care of yourself, and what that looks like for you at different points, because it's going to look different at different points right now. Right now it obviously looks a little different, and that's okay.
Look a lot different.
Well, that's okay. You can talk about naps. You can talk about, seriously, talk about all the things. Just, whatever makes sense for you to talk about. And I promise, like, it actually, as far as sharing your pregnancy journey goes, in the way that I've done, it does get a lot easier to do that when you feel ready to tell people that you're pregnant, but you don't have
I know, because right now it's like, I feel like garbage, but I can't
like
say
with
why.
Tatum,
because I don't say anything until I'm like 12 weeks.
And that's what I did with Josh. I didn't say anything until I was 13 weeks, but I also wasn't fitness anything or trying to like take care of myself in that way. So I didn't feel like I was hiding something from anybody but the people that I was student teaching.
Right.
But like, here's the thing though, people knew I was pregnant. Like this year before I even like started, when I would just post pictures, I had people messaging me all the time. Oh my gosh, I forgot to stop recording. It's been recording our
I know. I was
conversation.
gonna say
Whoops.
something, and I was like,
Whatever. It doesn't matter. Hey, you guys, you got to listen to some weird stuff.